Can anybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see me. It's not going live. Hi everybody. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. I'll let a couple more people get on before we start. Cheers to everybody who's watching right now. Hi Liza. Hi Sarah. Sarah's in the house. I have some royalty today. Hi Michael from Florida. 2 people from Florida. The Driven Dad. Hi. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Hopefully we're going to have a little bit of fun. Just getting situated. Hi Diane. Wait 1 more minute. Hopefully everybody's having a good week so far. I took off today. I usually take off on Tuesdays. Oh, thank you, Brian. Welcome to my home. Oh yeah, the wine is quite tasty. It is a Coppola wine. I swear by Coppola wines, by the way. This is like the only time I actually get a chance to drink wine, because usually I'm out driving at night, and obviously you can't drink and drive, so usually my nights off are like wine nights. My chair is comfy. It's a recliner too, but I'm not going to recline back, but it goes like all the way back. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a good start to the week so far. I'm just here to really talk about strategies, kind of what my strategy is going into the week. Tell me what your strategies are in for the week, but just kind of breaking it down for everybody, just to kind of give you guys my strategy. And really, I feel like my strategy changes honestly by day, by week. It kind of depends on what's going on. Is it busy? Is it not going busy? Last night, for instance, I feel like Uber was down, and I was talking, I think it was one of my viewers, Marie, she was saying she thinks Uber was down as well. My map was like completely orange, and it was a $1.50 boost, but like 0 orders were coming through the entire night, so I completely switched up my strategy, and I made it almost a DoorDash night for the most part. There were a couple of Uber orders that were coming in and out, but I was just kind of taking those orders as they were coming in, just because I'm still trying to get to the $200 mark, and the only way I was going to get there was just continuing to take whatever orders were coming in. So that was my strategy. Just even last night, I will say, for the week, I've been really, if you guys don't follow Pedro DoorDash Santiago, and hopefully he's here, hi if he is here, but he's been trying to really work on his acceptance rates, with the thinking that possibly they're going to, it's going to help with the algorithm and give you better orders. So I'm trying, being the very small keyword, trying to work on my acceptance rates for DoorDash So that is kind of my strategy going into this week coming up. Monday it was a little on the rough side, I have to say. Even I was like sweating, like, oh my god, I don't know whether I'm gonna make my $200 day on Monday. And then I always say 9 to 10 o'clock at night are my powers. Once again, I'm just saying this is what's working in my area, what works in my area. Completely might not work in other people's areas, but for some reason, like in the 9 to 10, sometimes 10:30 are like my power hours. I feel like drivers go home and I'm scooping up the orders, and that's usually where I make up a lot of my day. So, okay, let me go into some of you guys' comments that are going in. Watching dashes in between dashes. Watching your videos in between dashes. Hi. Did anybody work at all today? I'm just curious on how it was in my area. It was like a rainy, misty day outside, so half of me kind of wanted to go out because you guys all know, like, I love to go out in the rain. So it was kind of killing me, but I'm like, nope, I need a day off. I need to spend some family time, and that's exactly what I did. Okay, so also ask me questions, any questions you guys possibly might have. I'll talk a little bit about the Para app and what happened this week. I'm going to talk very briefly just because I'm not a big Para person. I didn't sign up for Para. It wasn't kind of in my repertoire of things that I was using, but I thought it was a fantastic idea. I feel almost bad that it kind of rested in peace this week, and I know a lot of people are sad, but it's one of the reasons why I'm talking strategy, because without Para, we just have to go back to basics and go back to dashing and Uber eating along the way. Okay, currently dashing slow. I've taken one whole order, even in $9 8 miles. I'm thinking about unassigning. Okay, that's up to you. Are you taking off July 31st? Am I missing something? What's going on July 31st? Oh, is that the everybody take off day? Is that what that is? I kind of heard something about that. I don't know. To me, I'm all about making money and hustling, so I really haven't decided. I feel like I take it day by day at this point, so I don't know. I'll let you guys know if I do. I know. Rest in peace, Para. I know, Sarah, you were a very big supporter of Para, and it looked like it worked really well for you and your orders. And guys, if you haven't gone to Sarah's page, please go check her out, Sarah Elizabeth. She is fantastic, has an amazing base, and really has really helped me out and has helped my gig world out. And Para, she's been a really big, huge supporter of Para. So anyway, go check out her channel. Okay, so going back to Para a little bit. So like I said, personally, I did not partake in Para. That was just my own personal take on it. Don't ever knock anybody who did it, because I think the app was wonderful for what it stood for. Just I wasn't willing personally to risk the activation, but once again, that was my choice, and everybody has their own choice in the matter, and I support anybody and whatever they do. So if it was working, congratulations, but unfortunately, rest in peace, Para. We're gonna go back to basics. Very slow in Wilmington, Washington, New Jersey. Oh, good to know. Yes. Thanks, Sarah. But anyway, so let's go back into strategies real quick. So once again, I'm going to see how DoorDash does for me this week by upping my acceptance rates. Once again, I don't know whether it'll work, whether it won't work, but you guys are going to come along with me this week to find out if it actually worked. I don't know. We'll see. They've been offering those $3 orders, and I'm like, and even now I'm like, do I take them? And I'm thinking, do I take it if it's like a mile just to boost up my acceptance rate? And then we'll kind of see what decisions I make throughout the week to see if I actually take some no-tip orders just to get my acceptance rate up a little bit. But I guess we're going to have to in order to improve on my acceptance rate. Okay, hold on. I actually wrote some notes for today. This is how prepared I am. I actually wrote some notes for today. So as you guys know, part of my strategy is I am a super goal-oriented person. That's how I personally challenge myself. I'm thinking in the future, even, I don't know, maybe it might be this week, maybe next week, I want to see whether I can try a different area of New Jersey. So any of my New Jersey peeps out there, if you have a fantastic area, let me know. Maybe I'll come work in your area for a little bit. But I really want to challenge myself to do different things and to work, differently. So that's kind of where I am going. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, does anybody know what happened with Para? Honestly, I don't know what happened with Para. I'll say I have my own personal opinion on it. I personally think they're going to get bought out either by somebody, to be honest with you. That's just I have nothing to base this by, guys. I have absolutely nothing, but I think their app was too good to kind of let go, and I really think that, they're going to get bought out and reinvent somehow, but that's just my own personal feeling on what happened. From what I've heard from, watching UDM and also DoorDash Dad this past week is, I guess DoorDash found a way to break up the way that they're paying out. So instead of just doing one lump payout, which is how Para was able to find out their payout, they are now cutting it off, that they're doing one payout at one time, and then at the acceptance screen, and then they pay out the rest of it at the end, so you don't really know what the payout is, and that's kind of how they defunct, is that a word, defunct, Para a little bit. But that, to me, that's what, from what I've watched other gig tubers, that's kind of what happened with Para this week. Oh, Sarah, they're working on decoding it again. Well, that would be fantastic if they can, get it back up and working for everybody. Oh, Anthony, Bridgewater area is always busy. It's funny, Anthony, that's the one area I was thinking about doing, just because my parents live around that area and I grew up around that area. So I'm like, it'd be kind of fun to go working around the area I kind of know and I kind of grew up at. So it would kind of be fun and challenging at the same time. So I was actually thinking about doing, maybe I'll get an Apple order like you always talk about. Never know. Hi, Tina. The shady that DoorDash does that because they don't have to pay you for the pull pay if something goes wrong. Yeah, I think, me personally, like I said this past week, I put DoorDash on a complete timeout because I'm getting frustrated with them. I'm getting frustrated with not knowing what my tips are, what the transparency is. God, you can name a few. The additional orders that they put in the past, 2 weeks ago, last week, where now they're doing additional orders. They're throwing them at you before you go to the person's house, which in theory is great because Uber does it, but at the same time, their base pay got lower, so they're also kind of screwing you out of money in the long run that way as well. And in fact, I think it was on Sunday I worked, DoorDash kept doing one additional order after additional order after additional order. If I kept taking additional orders, the only base pay I was going to get was $2 or $2.50. I was never going to get to that $3 base pay. So I haven't been a big fan of DoorDash in a while. I was very transparent that, I'm really trying to get on to possibly different apps like Grubhub. Oh, for the love of God. I've been on the wait list for Grubhub since May of 2020. That's how long I've been on the wait list. I've been hounding them. I even tried, I don't know whether it's gonna work, but today they actually on Facebook were posting Grubhub is hiring. So I actually messaged them saying, hey, thanks for this post, but I've been on the wait list since 2020, so can you help a girl out? And I didn't say that in so many words, but and they messaged me right away, and then I messaged them my information. So I don't know if anything's ever going to come out of it, but I'm trying for Grubhub as best as I possibly can. But I'm looking into other apps that I can possibly use, just because I don't know whether DoorDash is the wave of the gig future. I don't know. I guess time will tell. You've been dead. I have DoorDash in the timeout too. Yeah, Uber Eats, I had I don't know whether it's because I shut DoorDash off, but the other day I literally had an all Uber night, and like it was rocking. I actually didn't work during the day. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go out at night, and oh my God, I had such a great night. The batched orders that were coming in were fantastic. Oh, Pedro, DoorDash Santiago, were your ears ringing? Because I just talked about you, and if you didn't hear it, I said I was a big fan of yours and that I was actually adapting to your strategy this week about raising my acceptance rate for DoorDash as part of one of my strategies this week to see whether your theory is working. So I think I'm gonna try to up my acceptance rate because of you. So if you guys haven't checked it out, vote for Pedro and go check out Pedro DoorDash Santiago because he has some amazing ideas and he's very good at DoorDash. So go check him out. Hi, Michael. Hi, Mimi. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming. So anyway, going back to strategy, so I was thinking, once again, trying a different area, maybe trying longer shifts. I always say, if something's not working, not that it's not really working my area because I'm still reaching my $200 a day, I'm going to say it has gotten harder in order to do it. So I keep finding myself, okay, last week I tried a morning shift just to see if that worked. If I started at 9 o'clock in the morning, did it counteract some of the slow times that I was achieving at nighttime? I also feel like, and Pedro, I think you said this the other day too, I don't know whether it was your live or whether it was one of your videos, is I feel like it's shifting later. Like it used to be 4 o'clock. I feel like now it's like 5 or 6 o'clock. It's starting to get busier. And then I'm telling you, my power hours are from like 9 to 10, sometimes 10:30. Sometimes I don't come home just because the orders keep coming in for my strategy. So that's just kind of what's been working for me in my area. Oh, sure. Cheers, Pedro. Uber Eats is slow in my area than DoorDash, however, their payouts. And you know what? That actually is in my area too. Like, I wish Uber was as busy as DoorDash. They are actually slower in my area, but the payouts are just like phenomenal. Like, if I get a batched order from Uber, I feel like I'm taking it 100% of the time because they're usually like $20 on up for my area. And yes, and I know we've been saying this, Uber Eats does have hidden tips as well, but they can also tip after. So I don't ever know what is a hidden tip versus what the customer tips afterwards, but at least they make it enticing to want to go. I mean, if you see $20, you're going to be like, heck yeah, I'm going for $20. And it makes it enticing to want to take that order versus like DoorDash, I'll throw like $9.50 and you're guessing, well, will it go up? Will it not go up? Do I have to look at the item count? Like, you have to look at several different things with DoorDash. So I feel like that's the biggest difference between DoorDash and Uber Eats. They're at least paying you up front to make the order enticing to want to take. But once again, just my personal opinion. I'm doing some experimentation too to try to find the hidden tips and see if DoorDash will keep me busier. I'm telling you, I think Pedro's onto something. I found hidden tips in $7.25 order today, and I wonder how long they're hiding tips in my area. I don't know. Usually my hidden tips from my area are $8.50 and $9.50. That's usually my, sign that they're a hidden tip in there. But I will say last week I had a $7.50 order, and I think I actually showed it in one of my videos. And this is where I was getting frustrated for the customer and also for us at the same time. It was a $7.50 order, and the customer ended up giving me a $28 tip. So it went from a $7.50 order to a $22 order, which I'm like celebrating, yay, got a $20 order, but at the same time as a customer, I'm tipping my driver $20 to get here quick with my food and to reward them for getting my food here, but they don't even know what their payout is. I guess that's my biggest frustration part with DoorDash lately. Like, I feel like it's on both ends. I feel like they're not really helping the customer and they're not helping us at the same time. But once again, just my opinion. Uber Eats rocks. Yes, I agree. Uber Eats does rock. I always use driveways. To me, it depends. In my area, I have like those McMansions that like the driveways are like a mile long, and I will definitely use the driveway because I'm not walking a mile to someone's doorstep. I'm gonna say, however, if it's just like a short driveway, I'll usually park on the street because it's easier also to pull away from the customer's house. If you're on the street, I feel like I'm kind of disrespectful in a little bit of way, but that's how I feel if I park in someone's driveway, unless it's like a super busy street and you have no other choice than to park in someone's driveway. But just my opinion. DoorDash just wants to do the dash. That is true. Sorry, I'm taking a drink, guys. Okay. And I will say this too, it's always been my strategy, but I preach this. If you guys haven't signed up for more than one app, I strongly recommend going up and signing for multiple apps if you can get on. I know there's some wait lists going on. I think there's a wait list for DoorDash depending on your area, Instacart, but if you can get on while you can, I would strongly recommend it just because I'm such a big fan of multi-apping. I think it has helped me. It's been like my game changer of all game changers this year. When I started, just so you guys know, a backhistory is I started just doing DoorDash, and then a couple months later I signed up for Uber Eats, and I really didn't know much about multi-apping. And as you can see, I'm a huge watcher of YouTube, and I really got started actually with Sarah Elizabeth and watching other people. Marley, come see Marley, and I really got to know a lot about, multi-apping, and that's kind of how I got into multi-apping. But I went in, I was making probably about $15 to $20 an hour with just DoorDash, and now, my minimum is $25 to $30 an hour as a minimum now. So it was like a complete game changer for me, and I truly believe that it just gives you more opportunities. And I'm one of those multi-appers that once I get an order, I shut the other one off or I put it on pause, and then I go to the other order. But it just gives you more opportunities, and there's less sitting around time and less downtime that you're always, well, in theory, you're always, having orders come in, whether they're good or bad. That's foreseen to be seen. Mimi, I say, if you can try to get on to Grubhub. I mean, some areas do let you right on in. In my area, they don't for whatever reason. So I say you have nothing to lose but to try it. So I say try getting on to Grubhub. I say try getting on to any app you can. Instacart. I do have Instacart. I'll be honest, I haven't even used it yet. Just because I haven't had an opportunity to, so hopefully maybe I'll do a video on that soon. Just trying different avenues of streams of income coming in. That's actually kind of funny. I pull up on people's lawns just to get a little closer to the door. I get strange looks, just kidding. That's actually really funny. RS, you're with me. You've been on a wait list for 1 year and 7 months. Oof. I think that's a little bit longer than I have. Once again, I tried today, and I don't know what's going to work, but I'll keep you guys updated. I went on to Facebook, if you have Facebook, and I actually messaged them through Facebook, and someone responded right away, and then they asked me for my information. I'm kind of waiting to hear back from them, so I just don't know whether that's another stream. I tried calling last week, and it was kind of like I hate to say, but it was kind of like talking to Uber Eats and DoorDash, and you get some random person who is just kind of reading through a script and really doesn't know what to say. And they gave me an email to email. I emailed them, and they said that the email is no longer active. You had to fill out a form, and I filled out the form, and I got a generic response back saying, "Yep, you're on a wait list." So it was no help whatsoever. But I heard from somebody else that just being persistent with them and keep emailing them, it kind of gets you through. So that's my strategy for Grubhub. So I'm just gonna bug the crap out of them until I get on. That's my strategy. I'm persistent. Maybe that's actually really funny too. I've been trying to get on Grubhub in my area and I'm on the wait list. I feel like that's a lot of people. That's what I thought. That's when I saw the Facebook post today and that they were hiring, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You're not hiring, because I have a whole bunch of people that say they're on a wait list, so why are you advertising that you're hiring? Just saying. Okay, so going back to strategy, I digressed into Grubhub land. So going back to strategy, so if it's, another one of my strategies, if it's slow, I'll say I'm a lot less pickier than I am when I'm busy. If orders are coming in and you have plenty to choose from, you're going to be like, nope, nope, yes, 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 and you can really have it. But when times are slow, like yesterday, I was so slow, like whatever orders were coming in, and at least if it was like $1 per mile, like I was just taking them just because it was orders, and I'm still trying to make my $25 an hour. I'm still trying to make my $200 a day, and I'm not going to make those numbers unless I'm taking orders, and that's kind of the math behind it. And as you guys know, I am a huge fan of batched orders. I love taking batched orders, but this is my thing with batched orders. Not all of them go well, and they can go bad very quickly. So I will say this on batched orders, and I did a video on it. Be selective on your batched orders. Know the restaurants that the batched orders are going to. Make sure, if you can, that you know that they're grab-and-go restaurants, that you know that they're almost always ready. That it's not 100% fact that restaurants are always busy, ready, but at least try to guess the restaurants that you know. Okay, I know I'm going to go here. I know it's going to be a grab-and-go, and I can be out the door. If you know a restaurant usually sometimes have waits, I would be really leery unless the price is right. Taking batched orders, because if you get delayed on your first order, you're delaying your second order. If you get delayed on your second order, the person's food is just sitting in your car getting cold. So just be a little careful on batched orders, because they can turn bad very quickly, but the money can be really good. So that's why I personally love batched orders, especially with Uber Eats. They rock as far as batched orders are concerned. Okay, and keep going down my list. And also, guys, this is another thing, like I live outside my box. That, I used to go into this like, okay, I'm going to take this exact order, I'm going to do this exact dollar amount, I'm going to do this amount of miles, and I completely threw that out the window, and I started a new box, and I live every single day outside the realm of what a box should be. And I take orders that's best for me in my area and what I am, capable of. So that's kind of the way I do it. If it feels good to me, I'm going to take an order. I'm not going to be too picky during slow times, and I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to take orders and keep on going. And also, so another thing, so I also have a list of restaurants I go to, and a list of restaurants that like are a no-go for me. So I always say, keep it in the back of your head, and I always say live and learn what your restaurants are that you will always go to, and restaurants that are no-go to. I will say, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I think I said this in one of my videos, is I have a lot more no's for fast food restaurants than I do yeses, and I think the only yes that I will always do in my area is McDonald's, because my McDonald's is fantastic and you can get in, get out, and on your way. But I have a lot of no's with fast food restaurants than yeses. Like I don't like going to Popeyes, I don't like going to Taco Bell. Wendy's, it kind of depends on the time of day. If it's anywhere between 12 and 2, forget about it. Dinner rush from like 5 to like 6 or 7-ish. It's a no-go, but other than that, Wendy's is pretty okay for me, but I have a lot more yeses than no's. Oh, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I don't do Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is definitely on my no list. So I know a lot of you guys love Chick-fil-A, and I think my Chick-fil-A experience would be completely different if it was a drive-through Chick-fil-A. My Chick-fil-A is in a mall that you have to first park in a mall, walk through a mall, go to the food court, and then it's like a madhouse. Sorry, take a drink. Yes, Dr. Pepper, everybody too. But that's my issue with Chick-fil-A. So during the pandemic last summer, and this is another reason why I don't like Chick-fil-A. So they had their like tent outside, and they were only doing outdoor orders. And boy, they like I literally witnessed like a fist fight like happen outside because somebody was not getting the order before someone else, and boy, it was a disaster. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. And then I tried it one time when the malls opened back up in my area, and like it was packed, and the lines were. I'm like, no, I'm over Chick-fil-A. I don't do Chick-fil-A. Wendy's in my area is it's a disaster. Yeah, Wendy's ticked me off today. Simple order took him 15 minutes to make. I hear you. Sometimes Wendy's could be a very hot mess. Like I said, my Wendy's is actually pretty okay, but there's a Wendy's in 2 towns over that, like, no matter what time of day it is, I will never go there because the line is, like, wrapped around. And, sorry, it's so wrapped around that you can't, once you go through the drive-thru, like, you can't get out of the drive-thru because the line is so wrapped around, and then it's like a traffic jam even getting out of it. So that Wendy I avoid literally at all costs whatsoever. Yeah, I've gotten some really good offers from Chick-fil-A. Hey, I've heard some Chick-fil-A's are absolutely fantastic. Mine, not so much. I can always count on a 10-minute wait at Five Guys. Yeah, my Five Guys is it's weird. It's usually good because I will say I've gotten to know the people at Five Guys because they see me so much that they see me come through the door and they kind of make my order first above everybody else. So I will say this: make friends with your restaurants because they can really make your wait time like in half. So I don't mind going to my Five Guys just because I've gotten to know literally everybody there. They've even gotten to know me that sometimes they give me like a free drink just because I've known there so much. But my Five Guys is actually, if I will say though, if it's during the afternoon, Five Guys for me is like they have your order ready, but at nighttime they don't drop those fries in until you walk through the door, and that's my biggest issue with Five Guys. And you have to wait for the fries to cook and so on and so forth. So I can see that with Five Guys in other areas. I love Five Guys when I need to use the restroom. That's actually really fun. Do you get Walmart orders? I get a lot first thing in the morning. No, I will say though, Walmart is probably about 8 miles away from my house. I do use Walmart for my own personal shopping. I do their pickup area, and that's how I usually do my grocery shopping. But I don't actually do Walmart orders. I'm too far away from Walmart. I will say there was one time they must have been so desperate for drivers because I was getting orders from Walmart like by my house to go to Walmart, and then another like 10 miles to someone's house, and like not happening. But I heard with DoorDash, Walmart orders are like a complete disaster, and I won't even touch them with a 10-foot pole, to be honest with you. But I heard Uber is actually really good with Walmart, but I've never done an Uber order with Walmart, so I can't tell personally. I just talk from what you guys actually talk about with me. Do you ever take stop and pay orders? I don't get many around my area. I will say I've done like the simple like Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid. I've done like simple ones like that. I try to keep it to like a minimum of like low orders, like maybe 1, 2, maybe 5 items. I try to keep it to small items because there's nothing worse than, taking time out of your day to do someone shopping and then stopping and then going, and that's my biggest thing. And if the payout is good, I'm like, yeah, why the heck not? Yeah, I've had a couple of nice shop and pay offers from CVS. Took less time than my regular offers. like I said, it just kind of depends on the orders. Like I said, to me, as long as the item count is low, you can kind of get in and get out. And if you know your area and you're familiar with your CVS or Rite Aid and you kind of know what each aisle has, you can kind of get in and get out and be on your merry way. And it could be quicker than some of your, regular orders you would take at Five Guys, for instance. Okay, so going back to this, and then once again, if money is right, I really don't care about miles. You guys know this about me by now. I'll look at miles to make sure that the money to miles ratio is good, but so first of all, a lot of my nicer neighborhoods are like 5 to 10 miles away. So a lot of my miles come from going to my better neighborhoods and some of the McMansions that you see me driving in. So I never mind doing the miles because the tips end up paying off in the long run for the miles that I take. So miles don't bother me. I don't worry about the wear and tear on my car too much just because, to me it's worth the money that I'm making in the long run. But once again, just my opinion and what I personally do as far as miles are concerned. I always say I never come home unless I reach $200, but that's, you have to figure out what your own personal goals are. But I don't come home, like I said last night, I was sweating until like 9 o'clock. I'm like, I don't know whether I make it, I don't know when I'm gonna make it. And then the 9 o'clock, the 10 hour power hour, it was like my best hour of the entire day. And I'm like, whew, dodged that bullet. But there are times where I don't come home at 10:30, I don't come home at 11 o'clock. I think 11 o'clock is probably the latest that I've actually have been out, but I don't come home until I reach that $200. I'm determined, and I'm determined to make my goals. And I always say this, I'm a hustler. I just go out and I hustle every day. I wish there was like a secret to my sauce, but that's my sauce. I just take orders and I hustle, and that's my secret sauce to what I'm doing in my areas. I take orders, I do the normal things that everybody else does. I look at item counts, I look at the dollar amount versus what the miles are, and I take what orders that I feel work for me in my area and what are going to get me to the $25 per hour or my $200 goal. Do I like getting to $200 quicker? Heck yeah, I do. It makes it takes a little bit of the stress off of me getting to the $200 so I can get to it quicker. And then also I am like super, and I don't know where this comes from, so like I don't have like a sports bone in my body. Like I didn't play sports growing up. I was in band, I was in drama, like I was more the artsy person growing up, so I've never done competitive sports, but I am so super competitive with myself that like I'm a hard boss on myself. I'm like, was I this tough as a boss working for? Because I'm really tough on myself, but I really am tough on myself to make sure that I am striving to make that $200. And I think that's all I really guys have. Let me go through some of the comments to see if there's any more, and then we'll be wrapping it up. If you guys have any questions, get them in now so I can answer them for you. I'm afraid of batched orders. Don't be afraid of batched orders, Judy. Take them. I'm telling you. If there's one thing I can like instill in you guys, try something new. Like this week, I'm gonna be your motivation right now. Try something new. Try a batched order. Try a long distance order. Try a smaller order that you normally wouldn't take. Try something new this week. It might surprise you. If you like I said it before, if you're living in a box and you kind of go outside the box, you never know what the possibilities are. So I am encouraging everybody, and I'll try this myself. I'll try something new this week. Try something new. Go after it and just see if it works. I always say, and I said this in my video yesterday, I would rather you try something and be successful at it than not try something at all and fail at it. And I think fail is too big of a word, but I want everybody to be successful. So try something new and challenge each and every one of you guys to try something new this week. I'll try a shop and pay order. Yeah, Liza, try one. I try a small one just to begin with, so that way you're not overwhelmed with like a really big order. Like try maybe a 2 to 5 item order and see whether it works for you. You can probably be in and out, because a lot of times I found with like CVS, Rite Aid orders is like your candy, or there's a soda, or it's something like really easy that you know where it is in the store. You grab it and you go. And at least on DoorDash, I'll be honest, I haven't done a shop and pay order for Uber. I've only done them for DoorDash, so to speak. So, I think their apps are pretty easy to use. So try it. I think you're gonna like it. If you don't try it, it's an auto fail. It's pretty true. Yeah, I agree, Michael. The DoorDash has made the shop and pay orders easier. Do you still have to wear a mask in your restaurants? I wear mine when I deliver, but not in pickup. So this is my thing. We're still required, according to Uber and DoorDash, to wear masks. So I am still wearing my mask. Not only that, but it's just me personally. And once again, I have a 4-year-old, right now sleeping upstairs, but I have a 4-year-old, and I'm more about protecting my family and protecting her, because obviously she can't get a vaccine right now. So that's just my own personal thing. To me, they're still required. I'm just so, and this is just probably me being a scaredy cat, but I'm just afraid of walking into a restaurant and like someone reporting that, like this person's not wearing a mask, and then you get freaking deactivated for something as stupid as not wearing a mask, because I've actually heard customers actually complain about people not wearing masks going up to their house and being deactivated for it. So I personally still wear a mask, but once again, just my own personal opinion. Liza, I always wear a mask. I live in Missouri, which is running rampant in the Delta variant. Ooh, that's a little scary. But yeah, Delta variant is a very real thing right now going on. I know we kind of tend to somewhat forget about it, but it really is a really, really relevant thing going on. I mean, I personally live close to New York City, and I also live an hour away from Philly, so it's a very real possibility around in my area as well. And once again, I don't want to be the cause of anybody in my family getting it. My whole entire family, by the way, is vaccinated except for my daughter, but I've also heard of people still getting it with the vaccine, so you never know. Oh, are you guys having a hard time hearing me? Anybody else having a hard time hearing me? And that's another thing I will say. I feel like with DoorDash, I feel like I'm like, bashing DoorDash lately, but like I feel like they're just waiting for people, like things to deactivate people lately. Like I feel like you sneeze the wrong way and DoorDash is waiting to deactivate people. But just the feeling I've had, like I can't tell you how many. I mean, there's GigTubers who have been deactivated, recently. I mean, they've gotten back on, but I feel like it's a real relevant thing that, I don't know, I feel like you cough or you sneeze the wrong way and oops, you're deactivated. Oh, you're not wearing a mask, you're deactivated. I mean, they have wait lists of people trying to get on. Let's deactivate them and let's get new people on who don't know anything about the orders, and we'll take the $3 orders all day long. Audio is a little low, Kim. I'm trying to think of how I can even raise it for you guys. Move it closer a little bit. Is that better? Okay, so the Hello Sports Talk. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Miles are okay as long as I'm getting at least $2 a mile. My best Uber Eats order was $32 for 16 miles. It ended up being $55. I took about an hour and it was estimated. Wow, that's an awesome order. So this is my thing with long distance orders. To me, with long distance orders, so the first thing I look at, first of all, and I try to do the same thing, $2 per mile if it's a long distance order. To me, a long distance order is kind of like 8 miles and above. That's just my own personal opinion. I try to get $2 per mile because I think in my head, okay, I have to get there, and most likely I have to get back, unless I know my area and I know that there's restaurants that they're going to and can come back. But that's just my own personal opinion on long distance orders. But usually, and especially with Uber Eats, they're tending to pay out a long run. $55, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that order. Let me just turn it back. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know about the volume. The sound sort of comes out now. I don't know how to fix that, to be honest with you. I'm not a tech genius. I try to be, but I'm not. So talking about large order tips. So I had a couple this past weekend that I kind of love Uber. I'm telling you, I kind of love Uber. So they were scheduled to be like, I think one was $22, one was $24, and one ended up being like $31. Another one ended up being like $34. My biggest tip I ever got though was on Uber. It was a $52 tip, but I was also delivering like $200 worth of food to their house, which is I guess why the tip was so big. But they were straight like 20% tip, which was I was like, the worst order though, I will say. And once again, freaking DoorDash. I did a Panera catering order once, and it came through as $8.50, and I didn't even look at the order, and I just went into Panera, because you're thinking Panera, oh, it's probably like soup and a salad. So I get there, and Lee's like, I have like 4 bags. I'm like, 4 bags? It was a catering order, so the person ordered, and it was a doctor's office, because it was a name on it was Dr. So-and-so, and the delivery was 2nd floor doctor's office. Please set up. They wanted me to set it up too, which I'm like, Anyway, so 4 bags of Panera in my car, my back seat, somewhere in my trunk. I had like a whole bag just of like drinks, and I go up, I set everything up, I'm doing what I'm supposed to. $10 tip. I was so mad because I went into it, I'm like, yes, this is my first catering order. I'm so excited. I'm gonna get a huge tip. $10. I was so mad. DoorDash sends me 22 to 26 miles round trip for $8 to $11 all the time. Yeah, that would be a hell no for me too. If it's Uber, at least you don't have to get worried about getting back to your zone. That is absolutely true. So, you guys don't know my area, but like 2 towns over is like a completely different zone, and you go out of your zone just by going 2 towns over. So just so you guys know, and I'm gonna hopefully this week, my week is a little jam-packed this week, but hopefully I'm gonna get to it this week. I signed up for a new delivery app, which I'll share with you guys in a video. It's called Skip Cart. So hopefully we're gonna do that this week and see what it's like. And I don't know, we'll see. It's supposedly, it's a lot of like catering orders and corporate offices, and you do deliveries for them. So I don't know, just might be something to look at in your area, but I'm gonna try it this week and kind of see what comes out of it. Hey PJ, how are you? $48 was my best order ever. That is a pretty fantastic order. My best tip was $20 cash for not a large order. I looked at a customer and she said, yes, that's for you. Aw, that's so sweet. I got my 2 biggest tips in the same day this past Saturday. $15 for one order and $22 another. Good job, guys. I love hearing about good success stories. There's nothing better than a good success story. A lot of those catering restaurants steal tips. I worry. That's my biggest thing with Panera. So I have like a love-hate relationship with Panera. Like I love Panera as a restaurant to eat and go visit, but like it's not Uber. It's only DoorDash. Like I feel as though either people don't tip or they're really low tips. So it makes me feel like Panera's taking tips away from us as drivers. It's either that or people that are ordering from the websites are like really bad tippers. I haven't figured it out, but I feel like I need to get to the bottom of that. Oh, hey, Gig Life, you're in the house. I have another royalty in the house. So if you haven't checked out his channel as well, go see Gig Life as well. I can use a glass of wine myself. Ooh, go get one. Cheers. I'm telling you, I feel like it's the only time I actually get to sit back and relax and enjoy a glass of wine. It's my one night off I take a week, and I enjoy the heck out of that glass of wine. Have you heard about these Amazon affiliate gigs? You show up at the Amazon distribution center and they give you a number of packages for your zone. I've heard about it. I haven't done it. I wanted to actually look into also the Whole Foods part of Amazon Prime, but I want to say they might be $1 per hour. I'm not sure, but I'll do some research on it. I'm not sure, but I know there's a couple of gig tubers that actually do that and like it. So I don't know, it just might be something to check out. I'm gonna sign up for that and try it once I get a hybrid vehicle. Let me know how you make out. I'm just curious on whether you like it or you don't like it. And it's funny you say a hybrid vehicle. I'm telling you, my next car, I want to get a Toyota Prius. But you know, since someone just freaking hit the bumper on my freaking car, not that I'm bitter about it at all. I was so mad. I'm still mad. Can you tell? Like I'm still mad. Considering I wasn't even gig working, I was freaking parked in a freaking parking lot, just saying. Oh, so mad about that. It's called Skipcart is the app I'm gonna try. I've signed up for it, I'm already approved for it. I just kind of have to hit go and kind of see what happens. So I'm hopefully maybe gonna try it this week. Yes, Gig Mom does the Amazon stuff and does really well at it. Yes, she does. So hey, I say try it. There's nothing, I always say, try it. What's the worst that can happen? You like it or you don't like it, but you still have another avenue of income coming in towards you. So I always say, always try it at least once just to see if you like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, just don't use it. Oh, that's so nice, Judy. I actually had a customer leave a positive comment thanking me for wearing my mask when I delivered her. See, this is my thing with also the mask wearing. There's so many houses nowadays that actually have eye rings, and people are nosy by nature. They like to look at you coming up their driveway. I'm just saying, you might not think they're looking, but I swear they're looking. And I'm just saying, just be careful. I don't have enough space in my car for doing Amazon. Yeah. Check out the Hyundai Elantra Hybrid, Kim. You know, it's funny you talk about that. I was actually looking at the Iconic. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called, right? The Hyundai Iconic. Because I'm a Hyundai person. I think my past couple of cars have been Hyundais. I swear by Hyundais. I love Hyundais. So yeah, I will look into it. Just you know, you just hear so much about Prius and how good they are, and you know, I'll definitely do my research on it. It's probably, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'll do my research and let you know. But yes, I definitely want a hybrid. I just think it's going to be so much easier on the, you know, the gas you're putting into your car, and let's face it, gas prices are going up, they're not going down. So I just think it's kind of better, and you're helping the environment. What's not to love about that? $50 tip for taking people from Home Run Derby last night. Oh, you were by the Home Run Derby, huh? Huh. That's actually pretty cool. So the Home Run Derby is probably like my favorite. I missed it because I was working last night, but I DVR'd it and I replayed it today. But it's one of my favorite parts about like the All-Star games. Like I love the Home Run Derby. I don't know why, but I just think it's so much fun to watch. I don't know, just my favorite thing. But I'm glad you made a lot of money. I can imagine people were probably drunk coming home from the game last night. Hey, Gig Lebowski, how are ya? I have a Hyundai Sonata and I don't like it. I drive a Sonata. I like my Sonata. I can't really complain too much about it. Mine is pretty decent on gas. It's big enough for the family, so I can't complain on my Hyundai Sonata too much. Has anyone done 6 a.m. and how was it? I personally, that's early. I haven't done that early, but I'm pretty sure someone else has. But it would be fun to try sometimes. Maybe I'll do that sometimes. You never know. You never know what's gonna come. I swear by Hyundais and Kias too. I own both right now. Oh, good to know. I heard great things about Kias. I was looking. I mean, we're talking like years ago. We were looking at Kias for a while. I think hybrid is going to allow us to take some of those orders we declined due to miles. Yeah, it's a very good possibility. But once again, I take miles, so. Ooh, I didn't know you had an all-star, Kiko Lebowski. I remember you told us in one of your videos you invest some of your earnings. What's the best investing for beginners? I do Robinhood. It's a really easy app to use. So that's where I started, and I started it probably about a year or so ago. I personally, and this is just for me doing my own investment, and I am not an expert, and I will put that in disclaimer. I am not an expert whatsoever, and I also learn a lot from family members and so on and so forth. So I do a lot of dividend investing because you get dividends back either monthly or quarterly, so you actually get money back. So it's just another form of revenue coming back into your pocket. So when you think about like long term for like my daughter's education or even my retirement, like a lot of times you live off of your dividend investments, and it actually helps with a lot of your costs, and it's just another stream of income coming in. So that's just personally what I personally do in far as my investment. But I do put money aside every single day for Robinhood and my investing. Oh, definitely try it. You know, I'll always say it's always good to store away for the future and store away for investments in general. I'm a big supporter of it, so go for it. I feel like that. How many miles do you think you'll put on your car doing it full time this year? Do you think that the miles will result in larger maintenance costs? Have you had any large car maintenance costs? I'll be honest, I don't really, I mean, I think about, let's put it this way, I think about miles for tax purposes and tax purposes only. I never really think about it as far as the miles I'm putting on my car. So some of you guys are new and don't know this about me, but I used to travel 70 miles to work one way because I used to work close to Philly, and drive 70 miles another way. So I was putting 140 to 150 miles on my car every time I would go to work. So to me, this is still less miles. So I never really look at the miles so much. As far as maintenance, I've never, I mean, besides someone just hitting my bumper the other day, I've never had any large, knock on wood, I've never had any large maintenance costs. I do kind of regular maintenance stuff. I do an oil change once a month, and I'm very regular about that just because I think that's so important to what we do. I've gotten my tires changed, so I've done that just because obviously we're using our tires so much. But I've never had anything, knock on wood, major happen to my car. I will say, as part of like my daily routine, I put money away every single day for taxes, and then I also put money aside in just regular savings. But that's just me personally, so that way if something goes wrong, I have the money to pay for it. But that's just kind of the way that I do it. And yes, I cash out every single day. That way I manage my money every single day, but that's just me and how I manage my income. The reason I asked some people who announce food delivery say it costs 50 cents a mile to operate a vehicle. It's probably feasible, I'll say that. But to me, I feel like the money outweighs the wear and tear on the vehicle, but that's just my own personal opinion. As long as you're doing regular maintenance on vehicle, miles shouldn't matter, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with you, PJ. To me, like I said, I'm religious about doing my oil change once a month, and I think as long as you do regular filters and oil changes and all the stuff to your car, and you really take good care of your car, I think you're doing the right things. If you're saving, like I hate to say I'm saving, if anything arises, you have the money to pay for it. Okay, guys. Oh, I can't believe it's been an hour already. Has it been an hour already? Wow. Okay, so let's wrap it up. So does anybody have any last minute questions for me before we wrap it up tonight? Going once, going twice. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. I had so much fun, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.